Good morning. So I'm here at my pull-off 24-hour park and ride. Not even a park and ride, it's just a pullover picnic spot that I spent the night at last night. About an hour from Big Bend entrance. Got my coffee. Gotta have that before I even start to drive. Got up at 5:30 this morning. Sunrise is 7:10, I believe. There's something about getting up before the sunrise, waiting for the sun to come over the crest, especially if you're in a pretty area where you got some hills and some mountains, I guess, if you want to call these mountains. And everything's calm, everything's quiet. And the birds just slowly start to chirp in, letting you know that morning's on its way. And at least for here, the last few days, it's just been windy as all get out. So in the morning, you don't have that wind, which is nice. But I'm hoping to get into Big Bend early. I don't know what time their gates open. I have a camping spot. I think I can't take possession until 2 o'clock, but hoping to get in there, find some place to park, and get a hike in prior to setting up first day's camp. I'm there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I got to exit on Friday, but have a possibility of playing the Gage Hotel in Marathon Saturday night. That hotel is pretty cool. It's amazing. And there's a whole pile of different people in there. I mean, they're from everywhere, so it would be a good experience for me to do that, and some good exposure. But yeah, that's about all I got. I'll spin you over here. There's the rig. Made me some coffee this morning, and we're gonna get on our way in a little bit. Just gonna let the sun crest over the horizon, and then we'll get her going. So yeah, 30 days in Texas, baby. God dang. Cheers. Once I arrived at my camp in Chisos Park, I was pleasantly surprised that it was quite a bit cooler, so I took off on my hike to the Windows Trailhead. Once I got back to camp, I had a bit of chips and salsa and something to drink, and this bird was thirsty too. Okay, gotta admit, this one's kicking my ass a little bit. Doesn't look steep, but it's just this gradual 5 to 10 degree incline. If that just wears you down. I think I'm approaching the top. I don't know what this peak is, but it was 1,100 or 1,200 feet of elevation gain on this hike. I think we're right around a mile high. I bet you it's gonna have unbelievable views. And here comes the payoff, kids. Here comes the payoff. Good morning, kids. Well, this morning I hiked to the top of Lost Mine Trail here, right out of Chisos Basin. Didn't think I was going to do this. Thought I was headed to Mexico this morning, but I think I still might get to Mexico. But this was a nice diversion. 1,100 feet climb. 2.5 miles up, it'll be 2.5 miles down. For some reason, the down always gives me more fits than the up, but yeah, good time. Got the blood flowing. The last bit was pretty steep, and don't have too much else to say except this is my 29th day in Texas, so I've got a song forthcoming something about 30 days in Texas, but it's the first one I'm penning on this trip. Let's see, updates. Got a gig this Saturday at, of all places, the Gage Hotel in Marathon, Texas. Marathon, Texas is a town on the north border of Big Bend. Really just a dusty old town, but there must have been some dude named Gage who got rich in oil. I don't really know the history, but everything in that town he owns, and there is a hotel in there that is just like Spanish, Mexican cowboy authentic. It's just awesome. And I managed to score a place there. I'm exchanging my music for a room. The room's priced out at over $300, so I'm getting a room and a meal. I figure that's a good deal because after 3 days in Big Bend, I'm probably not gonna be. I'm gonna be a little bit of a mess. I don't really have showers at my campground and just kind of sponge bathing in here. So by the time I get to them on Saturday, after 3 days here in Big Bend, I'm sure I'll be ready for a little buff and shine. So stay tuned, kids. Should be fun. So headed down to Cottonwood campground this morning. Trying to get an early start. The car runs better in the cool weather, and it's not so cool in the afternoon down here. Some of these hills, I don't know if you can see that this is a hill. The old Chevy, she feels it pulling this camper. She feels it without pulling the camper, but so far so good. She's doing all right. But boy, you get it on an incline, and right there you can actually feel she just dies right out, loses power. Good afternoon, kids. I am about as South Texas as I can get, down at Cottonwood campground, Big Bend, a far cry from the Mile High of Chisos campground. It is hot. Everything's drier than a popcorn fart down here, and this is the Rio Grande. The other side is Mexico, but I could give a shit about Mexico. All I care is about getting my ass in this creek or slash river and cooling off. That evening, I shared dinner with some fellow campers, and we traded stories and lies.
That feeling of like just total relaxation and like
absolutely
traveling
completely.
in general.
He's a homebody. To give yourself so completely.
In the morning, I unhooked my trailer and I took a short morning hike on the Santa Elena Canyon Trail before hooking back up and heading out of Big Bend for the ghost town of Terlinga. Little did I know that I would get completely sidetracked. Well, we've got our first mishap. We've got a flat tire coming out of Cottonwood. Guess it could have happened in a worse place, but it's going to be hotter than hell. I'm going to try to get this thing changed fairly quick. Problem is I got to unload everything from the trunk to do so. while this film is going at double speed, I'll explain to you what happened, what I didn't film after the fact. So what happened is I put the spare on, hooked back the trailer up. I'm headed to Terlinga, which is a ghost town. And I got about 20 miles and the spare blew out. Both of these were major blowouts, not just leaks, but major blowouts. Just blew the side of the tire out. I'm pretty sure it's heat related. So now I'm 6 miles out of town in the middle of nowhere, out of this ghost town, which really doesn't have much to begin with, and it is 105 degrees, and my phone is at 2%, and it will not charge because it's too damn hot. So I am stuck. I have no signal. Phone won't charge anyways. And thank God that I bought the e-bike in Dallas. So unload the e-bike, throw my backpack on my back, put my solar battery in the basket of the e-bike, and make sure I take a snapshot of the size of tire and the brand and all that. And off I go into the town of Terlinga on my desert scooter. I'm like Dumb and Dumber, just driving this little thing across the desert. And so I end up getting into town, stop at this Chili Pepper Cafe. I've spent about 4 hours in this cafe trying to navigate my way out of here. I've obviously no tires in the town of Terlinga. The nearest town was 80 miles away of Alpine. I contacted multiple tire distributors up there. Nobody could get these tires. Finally got a guy en route to El Paso picking up tires for his shop. He agreed to buy 2, and I was going to meet him at his shop. Ended up getting a tow from my insurance company 80 miles to the town of Alpine, Texas, and met the guy at his shop at 8 o'clock at night. So I end up getting an 80-mile tow from these 2 Mexican guys, and oh my God, they made a shit day better. They were so funny. You know, we're driving 3 in the front crew cab of this thing, 80 miles, man. You get a time to know each other, man. They were just incredible people, incredible dudes.
You say that again, right?
So the best thing that happened to you in the Big Bend is us right here.
Right.
We're saving your ass.
You got it.
Yes, sir.
So I can't thank you enough, Rio Grande Towing Service, and for both of you, Jamie and Junior, you're the best. Appreciate all your help and your laughter and your friendship. Thank you. So all in all, the end of this crazy day came out okay. I ended up meeting the tire guy back at his shop. Convinced him at 8 o'clock at night just to put 1 tire on, and I'd come back for the spare in the morning, since I had to drive through Alpine to get to Marathon, to get to the Gage Hotel, which I had a gig at that night, which I was no way gonna miss. I went into Alpine. They had a Spirits of the West festival going on, which was some type of drinking festival, and ended up sleeping at Marfa Lights viewing area, which was another roadside pullout that is a viewing area for these lights of Marfa, which have something to do with some UFOs and weird phenomena and whatnot. So what could have been a disaster of a day turned out okay. I made it to my gig at the Marathon Gage Hotel the next day, and all was well.